Today we're going to look under the hood at the unseen engine that really drives modern business. We're talking about the powerful system that guides decision-making in some of the most complex companies in the world. So how do these giants actually know what's making them successful? Let's find out.
You know, it all starts with a question that seems pretty simple on the surface, but it's actually incredibly complex to answer. Think about it. A company with thousands of products, operating all over the globe. How do they really know where their profits are coming from? Is it that brand new high-tech gadget, or is it some old reliable spare part they've been selling for years? Well, to get to that answer, those public financial reports, they're just not going to cut it. See, those reports are all about looking backward. To navigate what's ahead, companies need a totally different system, a kind of internal GPS that guides every single strategic move they make.
And this really breaks it down. On one side, you've got financial accounting. That's the official report card for all the outsiders, the investors, the banks, the public. But on the other side, you have management accounting, and this is the secret playbook, the forward-looking tool used by the insiders, the managers, the employees, to actually run the business and shape its future. Trying to make decisions using the wrong one is like trying to drive a car by only looking in the rearview mirror. So, and this is really crucial, this internal system isn't just about counting money. It's a dynamic, living support system. It's designed to help managers coordinate, monitor, and fine-tune every single process, from what's happening on the factory floor all the way to the sales team.
So how does this internal GPS actually work? Well, it's built on two really powerful ideas that connect real-world physical actions to cold, hard financial data, and it does it all within a single, unified system.
Okay, so the first core idea here is something called the driver model. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying that every important action in the business, every real-world event, is treated as a driver that has a monetary value attached to it. It's all about mapping cause and effect. Let me show you how it works in practice. Super simple. Step 1. A machine on an assembly line runs for 1 hour. That physical event is the driver. Step 2. A preset rule in the system, let's say a cost of $50 per hour of operation, is instantly applied. And then Step 3. That $50 value gets recorded. Just like that, you've connected the physical world to the financial one, in real time. And the second key idea? That's the single circuit system. This basically means that all of that data, both the external financial stuff and this internal management data, it all flows into one single unified ledger. There aren't two separate sets of books. This is huge because it creates one source of truth for the entire organization. Okay, so inside this single system, every value that gets recorded is tagged, so it can answer 3 crucial questions. First, who spent it? That's a cost center, like the marketing department. Second, what did we spend it on? That's a cost object, like a specific model of a bicycle. And finally, the big one, did it actually make us money? That's where we analyze profitability segments, by product, by region, by customer, to see what's truly working. Now, to manage all this information and turn it into something you can actually use, the system has this powerful set of specialized tools. You can think of it like a Swiss Army knife for business management, where each tool has a very specific job to do. Here's a quick look at the main tools in that toolkit. We're not going to get lost in the weeds on all of them, but let's zoom in on a few of the most important ones to see what they do. First up, we have overhead cost controlling. This one answers a really tough question. How do you deal with shared costs? I'm talking about things like the factory's rent or the salaries for executives. These costs don't belong to any one single product. So this tool's job is to intelligently and fairly spread those shared costs across all the different products being made. Next, and this one is absolutely critical, is product cost controlling. This tool gets right down into the nitty-gritty. It takes the full list of all the parts, that's the bill of materials, and the exact amount of labor and machine time needed, that's the routings, and it calculates the true total cost to manufacture one single item. And then you've got profitability analysis. This is where the magic really happens. Because once you know your true costs, this tool lets you slice and dice your sales data in almost endless ways. You can finally see with crystal clarity which products are profitable, which sales regions are booming, and even which individual customers are your most valuable. This is where data becomes strategy. All right, so these tools sound powerful in theory, but let's make it concrete. We're going to see how that whole toolkit we just talked about, the costing, the overhead controlling, the profitability analysis, how it all comes to life by following the complete financial journey of just one product, a bicycle. So this table maps out the bike's entire journey, from parts all the way to profit. At the very beginning, in the material stage, product cost controlling adds up the cost of the frame, the wheels, all the gears. Then, during production, overhead cost controlling allocates a fair share of the factory's rent and electricity bill to that specific bike. When it's finally sold, profitability analysis calculates the exact margin made on that sale. And finally, profit center accounting ties it all together. It treats the entire bicycle division like its own mini business, a profit center, to see if that whole unit is hitting its goals. Every single stage is measured. So what's the ultimate payoff here? Why go through all the trouble of building such a complex and detailed internal system? It really comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. The whole point of the system is to eliminate guesswork. It transforms management from an art form that's based on intuition into a science that's driven by precise, real-time data. And this chart shows you exactly why that matters so much. A manager might guess their cost is at a certain level, which leads them to believe they have one profit margin. But when the system reveals the actual cost is significantly lower, the entire financial picture changes. Suddenly, a product you thought was just doing okay might actually be your most profitable item. This is how you find the real moneymakers. As the source material says so well, the entire point of this whole architecture is to be a support system. It's there to give management the confidence they need to make better decisions, whether they're planning for next year, monitoring this quarter's performance, or reporting on what just happened. And the ultimate metric this all leads to is return on investment, or ROI. And honestly, this is a total game changer, because the system tracks not just the profits, but also the assets used to generate those profits, like the factories and the machines. A whole business unit can be treated as its own investment center. All of a sudden, management isn't just asking, is the bike division profitable? They're asking, for every dollar we've invested in that division, how many cents are we getting back? It is the clearest possible view of business performance.
And this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This unseen engine is constantly working in the background, attaching a precise value to every single action and every outcome. So the real question for us to think about is, when you have that level of clarity, when you can see the financial consequence of every move you make, how does that fundamentally change the way you run your business? Hey, welcome